Welcome back to another episode of my team career mode. We're back on the South Blues Racing account, and today we are up at Monaco. It's the third race in the calendar, and it's very hard this year. You'll tell by the end of this race that I do struggle with Monaco this year. The
Okay,
car
we've
just
had the
doesn't
new
seem to
parts come through
rotate
the
quickly,
fabrication process.
but
We'll
we'll give
have
it a
them with
go.
us for the next Grand
I'm just
Prix.
going to sort some upgrades, and we'll jump into qualifying. You've got the message here introducing from our team. Good news from our team at Mercedes. They've introduced a new upgrade to the power unit. That's good. That means the power unit's going to have an upgrade that I've not had to pay out for. Now we have a press interview with Will Buxton.
Thanks so much for the invitation to your HQ. Let's have a little chat about the team's performance this season. Upgrades to your facilities seem to have stalled. Is there no more room for improvement, or are you prioritising other areas? Your second driver seems to be getting much more comfortable with their car. Have you been focusing on their development? Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team? You've been struggling to get points this season. What are the key areas of improvement you need to make to the team? What are your predictions for your team going into this season? Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
Okay, let's jump in to practice first. Let's jump into the race weekend. Something good on this game this year is that you can simulate the practice sessions, but actually do sessions, if that makes sense. You can actually do practice programs. So last year you would just simulate them and it would just give you X amount of resource points, whereas this year you actually do that yourself. I'll quickly show you how it's done in practice 1. I will get them in. I will do them as much as I can because it's not that hard. It doesn't take that long. But I don't like practicing. I don't see the point of going out and practicing on the track. But look, if you go to quick practice here, you can choose between race strategy, tyre management, and track acclimatization. As you can see, you've got 60 minutes to fit as many programs in as I can, and each program has a time at the top and a success rate. Obviously, if you go for the 100% success here, you get 100 R&D points, or you could help the ERS system. It's quite clever. It's quite a good little change they've added, something new they've added to practice to make it a little bit more interesting, I think. Not sure why you would go for like the 25% success ones. Like, look, if you look there, that takes longer than the 50% one, and it gives you the same outcome. But I think it is cool. But you can do here. You can go for your ERS system again. You can go for weight redistribution. We are just on track acclimatization here, but like I said before, you have got race strategy and tyre management, which I didn't actually notice until after Monaco, that you could go out and go do a different one. As you can see here, that weight redistribution has failed and failed again. We're going to try it for a third time, and it fails again. So we failed 3 programs this year, this practice, which isn't great, but we are just learning the ropes with this, and hopefully we'll use it to benefit us in the long run. As you can see, I only got 100 R&D points, so maybe I should aim towards the R&D points rather than the engine upgrades. 'Cause I'm not really sure what they do. Well, they just give you a discount on R&D upgrades in the future, but obviously if you haven't got any R&D points, you're not going to be upgrading. As you can see, Christian Lundgaard goes up to an acclaim rating of 6. Now let's jump into qualifying. Okay, so qualifying. Hopefully we can get ourselves up the grid a couple of spots. I'll probably like send it into turn 1 in the race, so I would like to get as high of a start as I possibly can. Let's jump straight into it and see what we can do. Okay, actually it does start you quite far back. Control until you look about Raskas. Here we are, early braking. Oh, that's an awful start to get around Raskas at the start of the lap. I mean, fortunately the timer hasn't started. Another awful corner. So here we go, onto our first qualifying lap around Monaco. Took that well. Up the hill towards Casino Square. Close to the wall on the right hand side. We come through the right hand side, through Casino Square, up to Monaco. Oh, not great for lap, is it? I do struggle with this car. Round the hairpin. I do skid a little bit, which is going to lose us a lot of time, unfortunately, as we head through the tunnel. I did think when I skidded that I had a feeling that my traction was wrong, but it wasn't. We carried on the lap. The traction was fine. It's on medium as I always run it. As we go down to the Novo chicane, we cut that a little bit. We do get a warning, which isn't the greatest. Obviously, we lost a lot of time when we skidded. Through the swimming pool section. It's a good third sector, but we do smack it into the wall. We do get a yellow front wing. Brown Raskas, and we get a red card. We're going to finish the lap. Oh, this is an awful lap. This is not good at all. Hopefully we'll do better on our second lap, which I'll bring to you next. Okay, so this is the start of our second lap. Hopefully we can do a little bit better than the first one. If we can not skid and not hit any walls as we go around. Raskas hitting the wall, a little skid, and we start our flying lap. We have to beat our time, otherwise we're starting P22 as we go across the line and we start our lap into Saint Devar. Cut that quite nicely, but it's within the regulations. So 2 tenths up on our time as we go up the hill towards Casino Square. It's much better than the first lap. 4, 5, 6 tenths up as we go into Mirabeau. Up towards the hairpin, turning late, let it roll round. 6 tenths up. This is a good lap so far. No skidding on that corner. Do the sharp right hand 40 as we go under the tunnel. We're over a second up on our first time, which is good. As we go down into the Novel chicane. Don't hit the wall on the left. Make sure you don't hit the wall on the exit. We're still a second up on our time as we go round into the third sector, which is the best part of the track. We hit a bump, we skid!
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
P22. Retirement in qualifying after being over a second up on our original time. Red flags were out. I couldn't get a replay, unfortunately enough. You can always go back and rewatch it, but we did hit the bump going through the is it chicane? Not 100% sure, but it does catch a lot of people out this year, so be careful of that one. Right, the race round Monaco. From qualifying, I am not looking forward to it.
But chin up, it's not the end of the world.
Not looking forward to it indeed. Not at all. Cheers, Jeff. Let's go into it.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz and Norris, Ricciardo, Vettel, Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon, Sergio Perez, they've taken a grid penalty, and Fernando Alonso, Raikkonen, Lundgaard, Mick Schumacher and George Russell, Giovinazzi, Latifi, Mazepin and the owner driver. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay, strategy-wise, what am I going to do? Gone for a medium soft strategy. Hopefully there won't be a safety car that ruins that. As we get a lightning start, we can go around the outside of George Russell here. We do go around the outside. A little contact on the right hand side, but we are ahead of George Russell going into turn 1. As you can see through the replay, you see on the back right, we go round the outside of Giovinazzi and George Russell with little squeeze. And we go up the hill towards Casino Square. Here we are, we're following Finn, little contact at the front left, and Raikkonen hits the wall. We go round the outside through Casino Square, following Christian Lundgaard. You can see a little dive bomb opportunity coming up here. We get Lundgaard, we get Fernando Alonso as well. And with all the cars going slow, I see a little opportunity here. I'm going to go up the inside of Lance Stroll, up in to P13 at Monaco. Good little move there. Great move from the owner driver. So we got under the tunnel on lap 1. Perez is already 2 seconds ahead. Obviously he's on the soft compound tyre, so realistically we need him to get past Tsunoda as we absolutely mess up the Nobel chicane. And we do take a warning for corner cutting, but we also lose. I mean, we gained 4 tenths, so we probably should have got time penalty. A little bang on the wall on the left. Cut that corner, another corner cutting warning. We do have slight front left damage. We're only lap 1 out of 39. I think you can see where this race is going. We are up to P13 though as we go through Saint-Denis. Right, lap 6 here, going around the hairpin. Again, we are 3 seconds away from Checo and we are ahead of Lance Stroll by a second and a bit. So we're holding our own in P13. We're down to the Novo chicane. And we hit the wall on the inside. Do we make contact with Stroll? We do. Stroll drives into us. And we trying to spin round. We hit him again. We do correct ourselves. No cars have overtaken us. But Antonio Giovinazzi is out of the session. I'm not sure what happened. I didn't see it. Safety car has been deployed. and that messes up everything. We've got an opportunity here to pit. Do we pit and go onto hards? We don't. We stay out, which I can tell you now was a mistake. If I was going to pit, I should have pitted then. I think about it. I check the race director. I have a little think on this lap, but by the end of this lap, we've lost so much time. It was a mistake, and we should not have pitted the lap later. We should have pitted that lap then. As we go past the safety car there, it's quite a nice little shot as you drive up towards Casino Square. Okay, so lap later, I'm still thinking about pitting. If I have a look at the race director, look, Hamilton's pitted, Max has pitted for hards, Leclerc's pitted for hards, and Lando's pitted for hards, and Valtteri Bottas has pitted for hard compound tyre. Like I said, in hindsight, I should have pitted a lap earlier, or not pitted at all and kept track position. Obviously, I'm going to say I did pit on this lap for hards, and it was a mistake. If you look, most cars are in the pits. Carlos Sainz was in the pits. I think both the McLarens have pitted at this point as well. Danny Rick goes into hard as well. I don't know what I did wrong. Like I say, everyone else went onto hards as well, so just a mistake, I think. I just wasn't quick enough on the hard compound tyre, and I did a 2-stop. I went to softs at the end. I did get a wing change as well, which obviously set me back quite a few seconds. Pit stop time of 8.6. That Pierre Gasly leading the race behind the safety car. He obviously hasn't pitted. There's an Aston Martin there on softs, an Alpine. I think that was Sonoda. As we catch up to the safety car back. Is this safety car coming in? I think it is. And we get an awful, we've skidded an awful start. We don't stay up with Christian Lundgaard, and he does pull away. He's almost a second away from us by the time we get to the line. So we go into Saint Devote. We've got to make this corner count, and he's still a second away from us. That was an awful race restart on a hard compound tyre. We obviously didn't get the tyres up to the right temperature. And who's that up the inside? Mike Schumacher, we make contact. He goes into the wall slightly. We get damage. No, we don't. I thought we got damage. As he tries to go around the outside again at Mirabeau, and we go, fortunately enough, ahead of him through the hairpin. And through the tunnel, we're almost 2 seconds behind Lundgaard now, after just half a lap. We've got Schumacher 2 tenths behind us. Fortunately, we aren't going to make that mistake again and hit the inside of that wall. That was quite silly. Something that doesn't happen very often as well. That's where we crashed in qualifying. We need to be careful going over that bump and that bump as well, because you can just jolt into that right hand side barrier. Almost a third of the race under our belt, and quite a lot has happened. We're in P16. And we're going along on these hards as Lundgaard pits.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits.
It's quite frustrating that he pits now, and I'm pretty sure he beats us at the end of the race. Spoilers.
Okay, clear.
There is a yellow flag down at Raskas. I'm going to check that out. What happened there? I think that's Mick Schumacher after his little entanglement with us. And he goes into the pits, holding everyone up, but really hold up us enough as Lundgaard goes into the pits. Much quicker stop for him, obviously he doesn't need the front wing change.
The gap to the car ahead It is
P11 in the
11.8
race, if you're
seconds.
just still there. P11 is the highest position I get to in this race. There is 11 laps left. We've skipped quite a lot because not much happened. It was just me driving round and round and round with Gasly behind me, losing time to Tsunoda as well. But Gasly's now up to P11, and unfortunately this is where it starts to go backwards. The P12, and that number's only going to rise from now on. You get a little entanglement there with Sebastian Vettel, who does lose his front wing into the casino square. He tries to go for a move that isn't there, and then obviously that spins me out. He loses his front wing. I almost collide with Alonso. As you can see, Vettel there, no wing at all. We're lap 30 out of 39.
Okay, we can take
This
it
is
this
the lap for me to go onto my soft compound tyre. As you can see, I'm struggling with the hards. I do get followed in by Fernando Alonso, and I'm pretty sure Sebastian Vettel follows us both in. I've said no wing change, even though I might have needed it at this point in the race. And we've dropped to P19. It's quite clear that even on a soft compound tyre towards the end of this race,
No more scheduled pit stops.
I did not make the time up, as Verstappen laps me. So Hamilton's already, is it Hamilton that's winning or Bottas? They've already flown past me, and I'm 10 seconds behind the next position. Shouldn't have pitted. I should have kept the track position and just stayed ahead. It's another mistake I made at Monaco, as we do a great move on Alonso there. But obviously we do have the blue flags as
There's 3
we
laps
lose
of
our
fuel
front
remaining.
wing again. We are on the penultimate lap now, but obviously it's our last lap as we have been lapped. And yeah, it went from, well, we got up to 11th and then it just went bad from there, to be fair. As I think that's Perez about to lap us now. He's in P8, so we had 8 cars lap us. I think quite a few got us in the last 5 laps, but we were at the points, we was out of the race, we just wanted to bring it home. And unfortunately, we are going to bring it home in P20. Vettel is going to come 21st, but he's gaining rapidly on us. Obviously, he had that new wing change, and we've now lost our wing. Ironically, this red wing is probably our best lap for the last 10 laps. So we do go around the last corner, onto the home straight, and I'm so glad that this race is over. P20, no points, let's move on. Let's get ready for Baku.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
It's the one that everyone wants to win, and they've only gone and done it. What a fantastic result here at Monaco. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So, let's review the drivers' standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
Nikita Mazepin gets my vote today.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Another team that excelled today was Williams, who make further progress up the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.